I gotten some good feedback that these interview videos have been useful for English learning and English studying. Yeah, I just wanted to help you guys use this video to the fullest and navigate this English learning process. So for me, it just happened naturally because I lived in the States for 15 years, and if you stay there for that long, you have to survive. So you just learn it so naturally. But for those of you guys who don't have much opportunity to listen to English all the time, all around you, I just want to provide these videos so that you guys can continue listening to English conversations on a daily basis as many times as you want. Maybe 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. You guys can repeat and rinse in learning how to speak and communicate fluently in English. So I have some 3 tips, just general tips that will make you guys go a long way. So the first tip, you guys don't want to be so caught up on grammar rules, especially in speaking. The fluent speakers, native speakers, they're not trying to see where you got wrong on your speech, right? They just want to communicate with you. They just want to hear you out, get to know about you, learn more about you. So it's really more about the personality and the confidence. So this is a phrase that I developed. Casual confidence is much better than fear due to formality, or fear because of formality. So once again, casual confidence is so much better than fear due to formality. So I just want you guys to get out there, really confront those situations. And I know there's going to be fear. There's going to be fear of English. There's going to be fear of messing up or making mistakes. But it's okay. Just let it flow. Based on the skills that you have amassed over the time, the people will respect it. The people will appreciate it. Think about it on the flip side, right? We're Koreans, and if we see foreigners trying to speak in Korean, and although it's not perfect in grammar, we just appreciate the fact that they speak Korean to us. And it's actually even cute and endearing. Take that opportunity of grace and blessing just reserved for you as a beginner and intermediate in English. Nobody's out there trying to judge you. And if there is somebody who's against you for that, then they're not worth your time and energy and friendship. Yeah, just let that slide by. Yeah, just get out there and go for it. I want to encourage you guys in that. And second tip, notice how I said don't get caught up on the grammar rules. It's a special phrase that is used many times in conversations. You'll be using these and hearing these a lot. Here are some examples from the video.
Seeing just how much more stuff they have going on.
What about Daegu really sparked you up?
So yeah, look out for these, try to use them, and this will be a good way to connect with the native fluent speakers of English-speaking cultures. Third tip that I have for you guys is it's a little bit more technical. I'm actually an English teacher teaching international students, high schoolers and middle schoolers, and sometimes college students too. So yeah, I'm gonna sound like a teacher right now. Notice how there's gonna be a lot more various forms of sentences, different forms of sentence structures. I know this is a technical term. Sometimes you start a dependent clause and end with an independent clause.
Starting those 2 areas, what do you think are the pros and cons?
In the spots that I have gotten out to, in the future, I probably would like to experience with my family.
It's not going to be the classic main subject, verb, and object sentence structure all the time. I like going to the movies. I like hanging out with my friends. It's going to sound robotic if you talk like that. Instead of saying that during my free time, I like meeting my friends. And as I meet my friends, I would like to go to the movies. That sounds a lot more fluid as you add these dependent clauses here and there. So that's my tip to you guys all. If it was helpful in any way during your English journey towards fluency and casual confidence, give it a like, subscribe, and share it to anybody who's on this journey with you. Hope this helped. Yeah, have an amazing rest of the year, 2025. Very looking forward to this new year of growth and transformation. Let's get going, creators. Woo!
All my problems, yeah. Take them on cause they be nothing.
I also love being here.
Yeah?
Trust me.
Yeah? Can I also ask about some cultural questions? Like, what are the biggest things that you loved about your stay here in Korea so far?
Honestly, my favorite thing is I love the public transport. Like,
Yeah.
I love when you get on a train or in the subway, everyone's doing their own thing. You know, there's not like people, yelling on the phone. In the States, there'll be people not wearing headphones. They'll be playing videos on their phone. There'll be people having conversations, being loud.
Yeah. Sometimes even shouting. And back when I was in LA, sometimes they were just like urinating on the floor. Just a lot of crazy stuff.
And also the public transport's not very safe in the States, in a lot of places.
Exactly. So you feel a lot of mobility and freedom
Yeah,
being
'cause
able to
I
go
obviously don't have a car, so in the States that feels like you're landlocked basically, like you can't get anywhere. If you're not in LA, New York, Chicago, the public transport's not reliable.
Where in America are you from?
I'm from Texas.
For
I'm used
sure.
to like just the flatlands with like basically nothing, yellow
Ah.
grass, cows, and random
Yeah.
small shrubs, that kind of stuff.
A lot of high rises here, a lot of buildings. So it's like a huge contrast from
absolutely.
okay.
I'm used to just
Uh-huh.
being back in like a small town with like not a lot of people
Uh-huh.
around. I've always been more of like a cave dweller in my room. But from being out here, working in the army, experiencing a lot of other sides of South Korea, seeing just how much more stuff they have going on
Yeah,
compared to what
exactly.
we have, it's a bit of a culture shock in a good way. Pretty cool to see and explore an entirely different culture compared to what I'm used to.
For sure. What was like the biggest culture shock?
Just kind of like the different, like how people live their life and go about everyday life, just walking around.
Yeah,
seeing
you could just see
everything
that
different.
like visibly too. Experience when I first came here was Koreans are a little bit more glued to their phone, not too much, small talk or
Direct
smiles.
path, don't
Yeah.
stray away from that at all.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
And did that come off a bit intimidating to you in a way?
Not intimidating, just I'm trying to walk too, because like America, we have the rules of the road.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not here.
Yeah,
Not
here a lot of just hitting your shoulders
Yeah.
with each other and stuff. Where have you been so far in Korea?
Honestly, I haven't gone that far, but I would say my favorite place is probably Daegu.
What about Daegu really sparked you up?
So my thing with Seoul is it's really, really big,
Uh-huh.
but in Daegu, there's also a lot less foreigners, so you get a lot more unique interactions.
Oh, I see.
And I really like shopping in Daegu. Walking around Daegu,
Nice.
it's just my favorite,
Yeah.
my favorite place.
You're appreciating the interactions with the locals too then, not just foreigners.
Yeah, it's always fun. Sometimes it's a little difficult to communicate because I don't really speak much Korean, but it's always fun to go. Just go into a random
Exactly.
spot, try a new restaurant.
Exploring, I like that mindset. Being open to the new stuff that's available for you.
I was always kind of hesitant with trying like new things at 1st but the food here is also great. Korean barbecue,
Yeah.
trying that for the first time.
Yeah.
Expanding my taste, it's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
also, like I say, culturally very different compared to like how it is in America. There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, they speak Korean for one.
Yeah.
I'm definitely more used to. I try to know a little bit here and there, but mostly just outside of like 안녕하세요.
Oh yeah. That's awesome, man.
But
yeah.
beyond that,
Uh-huh.
we usually have people like where we work with. We have like other Korean workers who help translate if we need anything of that sort. But
sure.
overall, I mean, it's been a pretty good experience.
How long have you stayed here so far?
Almost at a year.
For sure. So do you feel like as you approach your year, is there anything more you would like to experience?
I've only really visited Seoul.
Uh-huh.
I want to go to Busan more.
Oh,
And just like
okay.
other smaller places.
Yeah. Not like the whole huge metropolitan
Yeah,
like cities and
I'm
stuff.
kind of like, okay, so I feel like I've seen enough of that.
For sure. So yeah, during your like vacations and stuff, hopefully you can experience more of that small,
Yeah.
pretty, different vibes and atmosphere too. Are you planning to stay here like longer time and live out here?
I'm actually working on bringing my spouse over.
Oh wow! So you really, really do enjoy your lifestyle here.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm very glad to hear that as a Korean. Thank you so much for your time, man. Best of luck to bringing your spouse over here and getting settled down here. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
In the spots that I have gotten out to, it's definitely something that in the future I probably would like to experience with my family, of course, because I
Alright,
came up
that's
here alone,
awesome.
unfortunately. But
Yeah, thank you.
it's cool. Really enjoyed my time being here.
All right. You're always welcome here, man. Thank you
I
so
appreciate
much.
it.
All right. Thank you for the interview.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello, my fellow creators. I'm right here in front of the U.S. Army base, Camp Humphreys, and I'm just going to be going around asking some U.S. citizens who they're voting for the upcoming U.S. elections. Who you got for your pick for the upcoming elections, man?
To be honest, I know I'm colored, but I'm gonna say Trump because he's gonna get you your money.
You kind of mentioned that you're a little bit worried as a person of color supporting Trump. What makes you say that, though?
I mean, like, cause people just gonna say he racist, he got all these like charges and stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
That don't really matter to me as long as I got money.
What are some of the biggest like economic benefits that you think Trump has brought to the table?
I feel like just all around, like economically, a lot of stuff with jobs, housing, making everything more easier, taxes, all that stuff.
Who are you voting for?
I haven't really decided yet, but I'm still waiting to see once the dust settles about who can really benefit the most or do the most for the country.
And what are some of the most important issues that you're looking out for?
Definitely the economy. The U.S. really has to watch its foreign policy, make sure we are playing fair and playing well with other countries. Yeah, those are things. Those are two things for me.
For sure. So you mentioned the economy and the foreign policies. Regarding those two areas, what do you think are the pros and cons? Let's start with like Trump. Do you think he's doing a good job with especially what he's shown us in his first term?
That's kind of tricky, only because him as a businessman, he does seem to have a business side. So he does some things from the business side, and it benefits a lot, but then there's some that it doesn't benefit. There's always going to be pros and cons, good
Winners
and bad.
and losers.
So I've seen them both, and I've been part of both.
And you feel like even while living in Korea, you see the benefits happening for you personally as well?
Yeah, especially on base, because you know that stuff still relates and it correlates. And
so you're a U.S. soldier serving us proudly and honorably?
No, I just turned 18, but like I live with my dad's enlisted.
Oh, for sure. Sounds good. How would you say it's a little different for like Americans living abroad, like you and your family right now?
I would say it's pretty functional, pretty easy for us, especially because you know my mom's actually Korean.
You're half Korean.
So it's like it comes pretty easy.
You know how to speak the language?
I can read, but that's really it.
And what about on the other side, Kamala Harris, for the economy? Let's say.
For the economy, I think it's just a little harder for her because she has not been in position yet to be on the federal scene. State, California, I don't know anything about that. But for federal-wise and having a bigger impact on the economy, she hasn't been there yet. So it'd be kind of hard to say.
Oh, you would still say so even if she had the office of a vice president?
Well, you know, the vice president don't do a lot.
Historically speaking, you think?
Historically speaking, yeah.
Not much impact?
Not much impact. You know, it's all hangs on the word of the president.
What do you say about the direction of the country going on right now?
I say it's doing pretty well. Like nothing's bothering me, so I'm fine.
For sure. But you're looking forward to Trump taking the office again, setting things better economically. Good. Thank you so much for your opinion and time, man.
No problem.
All right, thank you. Have a good one, dude. How do you think so far the 3.5 years Biden administration, how do you think they did?
You know, for me, and the way I see it is, it's a lot to put on the president or any man with the office of the president to say he's going to actually control the way the country goes. I just don't believe that. I believe there are more players, if you will, behind it. There will actually, all of their actions pushes it one way or the other. But with all administrations, things can be done, good and bad. So.
Hence, you're undecided right now. I understand.
You just have to wait and see.
Let's see. 2 weeks. All right. Thank you so much for your opinion.
No problem.
Informing us. All right. Have a good day, man. Thank you so much.
I asked many of the U.S. soldiers here about the upcoming election, and the first reaction that they do is that they just can't. And they just walk away. And one soldier kindly just explained to me why that is.
Essentially, whenever you're in uniform, you're not supposed to take part in demonstrations or give your opinion on political matters. Basically, just because while you're in uniform, like right here, it says U.S. Army.
US
so
Army.
they'll think it's an official opinion of the organization in which I'm a part of. It would be your personal opinion, but like I said, you're not really supposed to speak about political matters one way or the other, regardless of how you feel.
So it's like intersecting like individual opinion and collective opinion, cluttering what U.S. wants to represent.
Yes.
Especially you said you were wearing the flag as well.
In our work setting, we have a lot of people coming from a different background. Having different political opinions could lead to friction. So one of the policy is to limit that. There will be less friction and more cohesive work environment.
So would you say that it's unspoken rule, or would you say it is like a pretty much official thing?
It's an official thing.
Oh, okay.
We can't do it
I see.
per policy.
What are some of the topics that you can't talk about other than politics?
I would say representing extremist ideologies, such as obviously, saying that you're a part of certain organizations based on hatred or prejudice, anything like that. Or if you were someone with a certain level of security clearance, obviously sharing information that you're not supposed to could get you in trouble, anything like that.
Can you talk about your religious affiliations and beliefs?
I would say it really depends, because you got to know your audience. For example, if someone's very religious, and in my case I'm not, it doesn't look very good if I'm talking down about their religion or seeming above it.
What would be the direct consequences of political, religious talk or extreme ideology, as you said, sharing that and being, I guess, quote unquote, caught?
I assume it'd really depend on the circumstance. I would say it's a case-by-case basis, because there's probably greater degrees. There's right and wrong ways to go about it.
There is if they found out about it, usually, yes. But being a soldier, I have integrity. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
Honor off camera.
Oh yeah.
So,
That's awesome. America's a country where freedom of speech is really emphasized,
Right.
but in that case, it's an exception.
so we have to both follow the American law and the laws of military justice. So that's why we get special exemptions sometimes, but we also have special conditions that we get put on us. I wouldn't say it's restricting our freedom because we raised our hand and swore an oath
Oh wow.
to defend the Constitution and all. So we have to abide by those laws because we voluntarily restrict ourselves.
Yeah, a Korean word that comes to me is like "멋있어," which means like, wow, that's really honorable. That's a sacrifice you guys took to protect the people and to protect, especially here in Korea, serving U.S. And as a Korean American, I'm very grateful for that. So thank you so much for that.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah,
problem. My
yeah.
pleasure.
Especially in our case where we're visitors of another country. So one person can do something that makes us all look bad. So we're a lot more careful because we obviously would like to continue being respected by Korean nationals and the people that allow us to be here.
Well, we're thankful that you guys are here because you guys are protecting our country from the threat of up north.
And we also love being here.
Yeah?
Trust me.
Yeah? What made you want to serve? What was your call in your heart?
I needed citizenship, really. So I did a program called MAVNI, and that's how I joined.
Was that still around?
No, it's not around
Yeah, it's
anymore.
not, right?
That thing's gone now.
Yeah, especially with Trump and everything. But yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure which administration, but it just did.
yeah, for sure. I should turn that off now because
All my problems, yeah, take them on cause they be nothing.
you said you stayed in Korea for 6 years. What made you want to come here in the first place, and what made you even stay longer?
Well, I had only heard bad things about Korea and never been, so I figured I'd come over and try it and see. And when I got here, I like the people, I like the culture, I like the food.
Yeah, it's delicious.
It's probably the safest country I've ever been in my life.
And you told me you went to a lot of countries too. You experienced a lot.
Probably 80 or 85 countries.
Wow.
Yep.
So that's a good data set to have.
And my first weekend, I come out here, I'm walking around on a Friday night, it's 11, 12 o'clock at night, and there's women pushing strollers and babies. And I was like, what is this about? It's just a nice place to live.
Yeah. You said you love the people. What are some of the traits that you found likable and warm?
I like Korean people because they are very blunt in what they tell you. They don't beat around the bush. They'll say something, you kind of go, whoa. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
So I like that they say what they mean and that they don't beat around the bush and you don't know, well, I don't know what that guy really thinks. If you ask a guy or a girl here something, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
You may not like it, but they're going to tell you.
So you appreciate the honesty instead of the whole facade and all the sarcasm.
They don't pretend to worry about your feelings. They just say it. They're not being mean. They just say what they mean, and you kind of go, oh, and it takes a little bit of getting used to.
But that's interesting because at first glance or at first meeting, they don't do that. Maybe after a while you get close to them, they'll do that. So you must have met some good friends here.
Well, even people I don't know.
Even strangers?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've had women. I've had older women.
Oh yeah.
Just walk up. Walk up to me, grab my beard, and just go, no.
What?
And I go, sorry, you don't like it. That's sorry.
What?
Yeah. It's happened 2 or 3 times.
That must have bothered you.
No,
Really? You actually appreciated that?
didn't bother me. No, they just came and went, no. All right, whatever.
Was that kind of like more of a human interest, like warmth? We call it 정문화 in Korea.
I think they were just saying, I don't like the beard.
Oh, okay.
It's got to go.
None of their problem though.
I know, but I thought it was cute.
For sure.
I thought it was cute. At the same time, I've had some Korean women stop, a couple of Korean, and said, can I braid that?
Okay.
Can I touch it and braid it? And I go, okay. And they're standing there with their husband or boyfriend, and they braid it and go, oh, thanks so much. I was like, okay, whatever.
What Americans will do is compliment it.
Americans will compliment.
Yeah.
Americans will compliment.
Yeah,
And some Korean guys will go, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I can't do that. For me,
I know.
It's impossible.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
So yeah, you caught my eye when you were walking by. I was like, I gotta ask this guy a question.
Yeah.
Lessons you learn by looking at different places.
Most people are friendly anywhere you go.
Wow.
Most people say hello, how you doing? There's some places that you would go to, I won't name them, but there were some countries that go, you're fine during the day, you don't want to be in this neighborhood at night. And you go, oh, okay. And then you just don't go to that neighborhood.
And then other than that, you're fine.
Right. But when you go to places like Alexandria or Istanbul or Morocco or places like that, when you get there, you find out where the Sheraton is, the Hilton is, those places, and you go stay there for the weekend.
And you're fine.
And you're fine. Or you go out and you do touristy type stuff, but you don't get drunk and go stumbling around in neighborhoods at 2 o'clock in the morning.
So it really does come down to like your individual choices too, and your actions and your thoughts.
Yeah.
The news all over, like don't get too bothered by that. Don't believe that too much.
No.
It's just really up to you for how you do.
Yeah.
I see.
You know, I was watching a YouTube channel the other day, and this guy said, I want to go to Afghanistan. And he went to Afghanistan. And he was talking to these guys, and he walked away, and the guy goes, you know who that was? And they go, no. And they said, they were all Taliban.
What?
And he said, well, people told me it was safe. I wanted to come here and see if it was safe. Now I found out it was
Oh my
safe.
gosh, that kind of gave me chills.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Just thinking about that.
Because you just think Taliban are going to grab Americans or British or whatever and Westerners and kill them. And these guys were like, no, just don't go over there. You don't go over here.
Okay. So you're saying that other than those places where it's known to be dangerous, people have this culture of general friendliness and warmth. That's what you experience?
Everywhere I've been. I haven't been to a country where I felt like I didn't want to go back there. I would always go back to every country I've been to. I think they're friendly. I think they're basically honest. A lot more English than you would think.
Yeah. Surprising, huh?
Oh, yeah. When I went to places like Slovenia or Albania or just different places, there's English. Well, I've been to Seoul and I've stopped and asked for directions, and somebody will say, oh yeah, go down here, go down here, go down here, and I'll go, are you Korean? And they go, yeah, and I go, but you're Korean American, right? And I go, nope, never been there.
But they're really
It's
good.
no accent, no nothing. And it's like, you realize you don't have an accent. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, you talk like you're from California. That's what your English is better than mine is, so it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. There's a lot of places around like that, all over the world.
All over the world. That's the benefit that we as Americans can cherish and appreciate.
Yep.
But at the same time, be willing to learn their culture and language as well, because
Yes.
that's like a good mindset to have when you're visiting them.
You're gonna live there, learn some language.
Yeah. So you've been learning some Korea, bro?
Yeah.
All right.
You don't want to hear it, but you don't want to hear it.
For
Because my
sure.
friends will go, what is that? What'd you say? I thought, that's not what I said. And they're like, no.
Yeah, I mean, 6 years is a long time. It's even longer than I have been staying after I came back after college. So yeah, you're the 선배님, senior. Like, I mean, we say 선배, like senior. You know that culture, right? Like yeah. So you know a lot more than I do about like Korean
Well, that's
life.
when I was trying to learn Korean, and they had the formal for the people that are older than you.
Yeah.
Chances are I'm not going to talk to people older than me. They said, no, you got to learn that. And I said, no, I don't want to learn that part.
Yeah.
Because everybody I talk to is going to be younger than I am.
Is it all right if I ask how old you are?
69.
You look very fresh and young, even.
69.
Yeah.
I leave my house, I'm going to do 5K.
Yeah.
And if I walk it, fine, I'll walk it. If I run it, I'll run it. If I walk half, fine. If I run half, fine. Get out, get some fresh air, get some sunshine.
5K is like really doing you well, huh?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
health and everything.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're 69.
And the carnivore diet. I'm on the carnivore diet.
Just eating meat.
Meat and dairy. Beef, pork,
Wow.
chicken, eggs.
And how does that diet help you? You feel better?
Oh, I feel a lot better. I sleep better. I feel more rested. When you get rid of sugar, man, you can tell.
All the soda, all the dessert,
Yeah.
ice cream.
Up someplace and they don't have water or anything else to drink, and I have to drink a soft drink. The rush of sugar is kind of like, oh, okay, I don't kind of miss that. And then fast food. A couple months ago, I went and got a Whopper, and it was like, I don't like these anymore. You weren't eating the bread, and you weren't eating all the other kind of stuff, and it was like, I'm staying away from that.
What advice do you have to people like in their 20s, like me? You really opened my eyes a lot about just a lot while we were
Don't
talking.
drink. Don't smoke. Eat healthy.
For sure. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Thank you so much for your service as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
All right. Have a good one, man. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Lord of Lords, lately I'm sick, save me. I don't want.
I'm very proud to be Australian. I think it's the best country in the world. Great weather, good healthcare system, good education system, clean. The only downside would be probably there's like no nightlife. It's so early. But I think they're trying to make things open up more later. Recently in Australia, we got the new metro line. So if you live in the suburbs, you can actually get to the city in like less than 30 minutes. Underground metro. It's really good. Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, because before when I was there, it was like all above the line. Yeah, above the line, and it was like pretty slow. But you're saying it's like much faster now?
Way faster.
Wow.
It's a lot better. I think they're trying to model that off like Asian countries.
So you see like an overlap crossover of like Asian countries and Western world in Australia?
Oh,
huh?
for sure. For sure, 100%. 100%. If you think about Korea, especially globally, Korean culture's everywhere now.
Yeah.
Especially K-pop and K-drama. We both know how big that is.
Yeah.
Like New Jeans, BTS.
And you see that as a daily.
Yeah. You're in the city in Australia and you walk past the store and they're playing like New Jeans.
Yeah.
Like what?
And that's not like a hip thing anymore. It's just like a regular thing now.
Yeah. I work at a really big bank in Australia and I was in the lobby in my building and they're playing Giado. I was like, what the hell's going on? It's so random. Yeah, so I don't know.
in a professional setting too, not like
Yeah.
a cafe.
And Korea's a small country for
It
it
is.
to be that global.
Yeah, but then the
Yeah.
population, surprisingly, we're almost double the size of Australia.
You guys are what?
50 mil.
Yeah, like
You guys are
25.
25.
26,
Yeah,
26,
exactly. But you guys have like 10 times this landmass.
I mean, but we're so populatedly dense.
Dense.
So
Melbourne,
like, yeah. So
Sydney.
all the other areas are like there's no people.
You do enjoy the nature around because it's a continent. It's not even a country.
Yeah, it's the only country in the world that's continent.
Exactly. You feel like you really enjoy that continent nature.
For sure, for sure.
the
We have
grand-
the best beaches in the world.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know like great nature.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna just put in some pictures and videos here and there too.
You probably went to some of the areas.
Yeah.
Right. You went
Uh-huh.
to Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
Blue
that was
Mountains, nice. And obviously like classic beaches, Bondi Beach. Bondi Beach, I'm not a big fan of, but I like Manly or like the northern
Manly.
beaches,
Oh,
Coogee,
uh-huh.
Mona Vale.
Yeah.
And I like fishing, so I'm always kind of going up.
Mhm.
In the Sydney Central Coast.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then obviously the city's nice, like Harbour Bridge.
Yeah, taking the ferry.
Yeah, yeah.
People
Classic.
take that for work and stuff. Yeah,
Classic,
it's a
classic.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I think what's good that you did in Australia is that you actually went to the suburbs that we
Yeah,
lived in.
yeah.
Because I think that's like proper Australia as well.
Seeing
so
the
you went to
life.
like Eastwood,
Breakfast Point.
Breakfast Point, Auburn, that place.
Yeah, dude.
So
that
you went, so
place
you
was
went like
nice.
proper like
Exactly.
suburbs. So I think that's like proper Australia.
I see the daily life.
Yeah, daily
right?
life. Yeah, because you didn't go
Yeah.
just like the typical shit.
Exactly.
You did the other stuff.
Yeah, typical the upper house and like the big park. Like that was nice too. But just being there in the daily life with you guys was like, man, that was really interesting for me.
Yeah.
to-
I think
yeah.
that's what I like about traveling myself is like
Uh-huh.
doing that as well for me. In Korea, you can go to like Hongdae,
Yeah.
Myeongdong,
Uh-huh.
Seongsu is like kind of
Yeah,
like that as well.
exactly.
But it's nice to go to where my family lives in like
Goyang.
yeah, Goyang, like
Uh-huh.
further out. And I think
Yeah.
you like that as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me too.
City is like, as we both know, crazy.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
we were just walking in Seongsu and like you remember the people? Crazy.
So crowded.
Too many
It's
people.
Friday, you know, just people dating out here. And we were talking about dating culture too. I think that was one of the biggest things that you thought was pretty different from Australia and Korea, right?
Yeah, like dating's big in Korea. I
Uh-huh,
think just in general.
More common.
Yeah, it's very common. I think 소개팅, friend intro, it's very big here. Dating apps are kind of big, but not too big.
Not as big now because more natural opportunities
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So dating apps are pretty big in Australia, in
Yeah,
Sydney especially.
exactly.
Everyone uses Hinge.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Hinge is like the biggest app,
Is it because not many interactions?
Yeah.
Because everybody's just in their own.
and also because not much nightlife.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So dating is just not as of a huge scene in
No,
Australia.
it is a thing.
Uh-huh.
I think there definitely is a scene no matter where you go, but it's
Yeah.
just different.
Oh okay.
Yeah, but I
Of
just think in
ways.
Korea, like there's couples everywhere,
Everywhere.
everywhere. Like especially here, like just in front of us,
Uh-huh.
in Seoul Forest,
Uh huh.
in like Hangang River.
That's
Like,
right.
yeah, there's couples everywhere.
I feel like in these benches here, we're not gonna film them, but we're the only two guys just talking, just friendly.
Yeah.
Literally
Yeah.
everybody's a couple right now in front of us.
The thing that you were
Uh-huh.
saying that was really interesting is that dating in Korea is casual but serious.
Yeah.
Can you explain? Like, what does that even?
So
That's interesting.
Casual in terms of because it starts so easily.
Yeah.
It's common.
Yeah.
And people do break up pretty easily too
Mm.
if there's some differences.
Mm.
But at the same time, during the time when you're dating,
Mm.
it's very expected much of you.
Oh, you know what's unique in Korea?
Yeah.
The
Uh-huh.
100-day thing.
Exactly.
100-day, 200-day.
Those type of things.
No one does that. No one does
Yeah.
it. We don't do that in Australia.
Maybe just
That-
1 year.
In Korea, you guys do all that shit.
Exactly,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh, and in Korea,
Yeah.
a lot of people do matching clothing.
No one does that.
No one does cringy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you do it, respect, because that takes balls, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just in Hong Kong, and I was in Japan as well, and a
Uh-huh.
lot of Korean people in both countries.
Yeah.
And it's always Korean people taking the photos and the
Mm,
matching outfits. Like they just do that kind of stuff. That's
Yeah.
that's quite unique to Korea.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything else that's dating unique?
The whole contact and messaging culture.
Ooh,
How often do you guys do it, Australians?
Anyone in the honeymoon stage will message a lot.
Of course.
But some girls can be quite demanding in terms of like
Yeah.
actually replying very fast.
Yeah.
And I think that's a unique Korean
Uniquely
thing.
Korean
I think
thing,
so. I
right?
think so.
Yeah.
But it depends on the girl as well.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
an individual thing.
Because you
yeah.
can meet a girl that's really chill. and,
Exactly.
like, that's why it's always like case by case. But there are certain patterns and trends that you see in certain countries.
Exactly.
And that's definitely one.
Much nightlife in Australia.
Yeah.
Everything closes down super early.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
From my understanding,
Yeah.
things used to open up late, but there was an incident that happened probably 5 to 10 years ago where someone got king hit in the head.
Oh.
You know what king hit is?
No.
It's like they hit you like in the back of your head where like there's a certain spot
With
in
the
your
heart
head.
thing?
No, with like a punch.
Oh,
you can
what?
get hit. You can get hit in the head at a certain point and it can kill you.
Oh.
There was a guy from a famous school in Australia
Uh-huh.
called King School. From my understanding,
Uh-huh.
that happened. Then the lockout laws came
Oh.
about. They made everything close a lot earlier.
Okay.
To prevent dangerous things
I
things
see.
happening late.
Crimes and all that.
Yeah, so I remember that being a big thing. Also, like just working in Australia, going to university in Australia as well.
Mhm.
Like people just tend to just go home.
Mm.
Like people don't stay on campus and try to meet new people.
Mhm.
They would rather go home and just meet their own mates. So there's not really a culture for it.
Yeah.
So it's a
yeah.
cultural thing as well.
How do people get close then? They just meet their own mates at home?
Yeah, from high school.
Oh, okay.
From
The
high
roots.
school.
So you
Yeah,
guys
the
are
roots.
very close knit from the roots, the
Yeah,
history.
For sure. And I think if you want to
I
make
see.
new friends, you got to put in the effort. You got to go to university clubs. You got to go to run clubs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pursue your own
Just
hobbies.
Be active.
Yeah, you got to be active. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, for sure.
I see.
100%.
Dinner places, of course, probably close like later. But then cafes. I heard you guys could close as early as like 3 p.m.
There's some cafes in Australia, a lot of cafes where they open really early in the morning and then they close early over.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Like they open like 6 a.m.
Yeah, and then they close like
3
close,
p.m., 4 p.m.
No, like quite earlier than that, like 12.
Oh,
or
so
1.
they're serving like the early
Early
customer.
customers,
Okay.
yeah.
And then we're talking about how Australia was the only country that Starbucks failed.
Oh, no one really goes to Starbucks.
Yeah.
I think there's only a couple that I know. It's because there's so many better cafes than Starbucks.
Yeah.
I think coffee's the best in Australia, like in the world.
Huge market.
Yeah, it's a huge market.
Are you a big coffee drinker?
I used to be. I used to
Okay.
drink like two or three cups a day, and then I quit. I was too reliant on it.
Is it true that people drink a lot of coffee?
Yeah. I think Korea's more though.
Yeah, huge tradition,
More-
just
more than that.
going after work and stuff.
Yeah, and in winter in Korea, people still drink ice.
Ah.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's not a thing.
No, I think most people just drink hot coffees in winter in Australia.
And you guys like the less sweet, more sophisticated taste, right?
I think so.
Like espressos.
I think so. I've noticed that Korean food is very sweet. Have you noticed that? Have you tried Korean pizza?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
So sweet. It's like terribly sweet.
There's pizza or chicken or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty chat.
Yeah. now I understand. Yeah, now.
But dude, there's so many cafes in Korea.
I know. That's what I'm
I was
saying.
just walking down the street. I saw 10 in like a span of 30 seconds.
Exactly. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is, like, even big franchises like Starbucks, they do well here.
Yeah.
There's like 3 in a block if you go to Gangnam and stuff.
Crazy. And the
Yeah.
cafes here are so nice aesthetically because they have to. They have so much competition. So they have to be at their best.
Exactly.
If they're not, they're screwed. The cafes here are actually really nice.
Oversaturated market though.
It's probably the most oversaturated market in Korea. I think so, right?
It is.
Must be.
It really
Yeah.
is. Remember I brought up that guy, Paul Bassett?
Oh, yeah. Maybe my mates would know, but I don't know who that is.
So the thing is, he's not a mainstream guy in Australia.
No idea who he is.
But he's an Australian barista who won the World Barista Championship. It's really funny how he's doing a huge business here in Korea. It's kind of like the new Starbucks here in Korea, like it's expanding a lot. So I thought it was interesting as a Korean. Like you said, there's so many cafes here, local and also franchise. But for Australia, it's like the locals do well, but the big cafe chains like Starbucks didn't do well.
Yeah, not as much. Local ones
Yeah.
do well.
Uh-huh.
The larger ones not so much. But I think that was it. Paul Beth, who's his name?
Paul Bassett.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
big in Korea because it's like unique Australian coffee.
Yeah.
Korean people are very geared towards unique, different stuff.
Exactly.
Trendy stuff. Korea's all about trends, as we both know.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing that is big in Korea is the selfie.
Photo booth?
Yeah, so in Australia, they're trying to do that a lot right now. It's not that
Oh,
succeeding.
It's not that poppin'.
No, not that popular. They're trying to make it work in Sydney, but it's not that popular.
Maybe like in Eastwood, like the Korean town and stuff.
But still, I don't think it's doing that well.
Interesting.
Compared to Korea.
The pattern, the lifestyle is different.
Yeah.
So that's why we're even doing this content too,
Yeah.
on talking about Korean, Australian, American culture.
For sure.
Thank you so much for your time, bro.
Nice.
It was fun. I'm gonna edit this.
Easy, bro.
and then- yeah. Easy, bro.